The CIA drops a bombshell around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, confirming what we've been saying since 2020. In today's video, I'm going to show you an interview with Anthony Pompliano, with the director of the CIA, asking him about Bitcoin. And remember what I've been telling you? When they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. The largest bankers in the world told you that it's used for money laundering, that you should run as fast as you can from it. And those very same bankers now are some of the largest holders in Bitcoin. And now we're in the space race to become the Bitcoin capital of the world per Trump's White House. So I'm going to show you this first video, and then I'm going to take you a little bit deeper into understanding Howard Lutnik, who is the right-hand man to Trump, and to give you the depth and understanding of what is happening. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. XRP is not going anywhere. And the other fundamental cryptos will be the new infrastructure of the financial system. What you have to decide is, do you want to continue to live in an inflationary system where every single time they lower interest rates and print money, you become poor? Or do you want to go deep into research and understand deflationary assets and why the largest asset managers in the world are fighting and scratching and crawling, getting access to this? And I'll show you on the back end too what's called dark pools. It's going viral right now. Dark pools are real. Companies are buying crypto without you knowing it, which is a good thing because it'll cause a supply shock. So be patient, be stoic, take the middle ground, and understand those who can hold the longest become the wealthiest. All right, so let's dive right in. On the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. I like to be clear and authentic and transparent with you guys so that we know where we're heading. Okay, so this is Anthony Pompliano's Twitter page. He sat down with the deputy director of the CIA and to discuss crypto, China, and technology. I highly recommend you go watch the whole interview. Okay, now I'm going to start it at minute 13:10, where he asked him about Bitcoin. Now, remember, before we continue, remember Elizabeth Warren told you it's used for fentanyl, money laundering. Larry Fink told you it's used for money laundering, and now is the largest holder in Bitcoin outside of Satoshi. Interesting. And go look what statue is in front of the CIA building.
How are you and the CIA thinking about Bitcoin?
Well, just like law enforcement, I guess, we are excited as well because, people may have thought Bitcoin was anonymous, but I'd say it's pseudonymous, right? It's not truly anonymous. And there's a lot of work that we do with law enforcement, obviously, to try to track, illicit crypto payments by bad actors. I mean, look, bad actors, whether they're drug cartels or terrorist groups or outlaw regimes, use cryptocurrency, but they use other tools as well, right?
They use dollars in cars.
Yeah, right. They used toner cartridges for their printers, right? It doesn't mean we say we should ban all of those, right?
Okay, that's the CIA telling you that, but didn't Elizabeth Warren and all these bankers tell you it's used for money laundering? And we've been saying to you guys since 2020 that makes no sense. Why would you use something that's not anonymous? It's pseudonymous, not anonymous. Why, if you were a cartel member, why would you transact on something that they can actually track and take a look at? That makes no sense.
No, I mean, look, Bitcoin is here to stay. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. As you know, more and more institutions are adopting it. And I think that's a great trend, and one that this administration has obviously been leaning forward into. It's another area of technological competition where we need to make sure the United States is well positioned.
Bitcoin is here to stay. Crypto is here to stay. This is the CIA telling you this. Trump has told you this. The whole cabinet has told you this. And there's still people that are on the sidelines saying it's going to go to zero. There's still people that don't believe in it. In the world, only 5% of the population has exposure. But what you have to understand is companies behind the scenes are buying this in the dark pools. Okay. There's going to be a supply shock at some point. There is no get rich quick. There's getting wealthy for sure by understanding what is going to remain after all the dust settles. So let's listen to Eric Trump. He's talking about modernizing the financial system is broken, slow, and expensive.
Like, this isn't modern finance. This is incompetence. Try and transfer money across the world. You want to go buy a watch. You want to go buy a car. You want to go, do whatever it is. The banks take half of that. You have currency conversion rates. You have all sorts of things. You have to find a branch bank in a country with a banker you've never spoken to before. You don't even know if they're, a real life banker or they're a fraudster. Whereas you can open up a DeFi app right now. You can open up, any cryptocurrency app, and you can send money wallet to wallet instantaneously without the expense, without the variability. Our banking system is broken. Our banking system is antiquated. Our banking system favors the ultra wealthy. And what actually got me into it is the fact that I realized our banking system, it was weaponized against the vast majority of people in our country, either the people that don't have the zeros on their balance sheet or people who might have worn that red hat that said, "Make America Great Again." And it forced me into the crypto world. And I'm telling you, if the banks don't watch what's coming, they're going to be extinct in 10 years.
Been telling you guys that since 2020. The banks are either going to get on board and go for the ride of life, or they're going to get ran over by it. But at some point, everybody has to get on board. So President Trump participates in the cabinet meeting April 30th, 2025. This was yesterday. Now, this isn't relative to crypto, but I'll tie it together for you guys. But you're going to see Howard Lutnik always around Trump. But I want you to listen to, he's the Commerce Secretary. Okay. Commerce Secretary for America. So we're going to keep showing the connection between Howard Lutnik and Trump. And then I'm going to show you the big things happening with Cantor, which connected with SoftBank to work to compete against MicroStrategies.
What was happening with the biggest chip company in the world. And he said, Howard, you said, you've never seen anything like it. You want to just describe what you saw?
So they're investing $165 billion in 1,100 acres in Arizona. And they're building the highest tech chip manufacturing, semiconductors. And
okay, so I'm just going to go right here. Just notice this picture. Study these people that are sitting next to him. Okay, this is Howard Lutnik right here. Okay, study his moves. This year, he'll be a billionaire in crypto on the back end of the year when this stuff goes parabolic. Okay, Trump is making us the crypto capital of the world. There's a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Okay, so if you're still on the sidelines, there is a Bitcoin strategic reserve. There's a sovereign wealth fund. Howard Lutnik is the head of the sovereign wealth fund. Okay, so why am I bringing up Howard Lutnik? Okay, we're going to go to this part of this interview. It was on Bloomberg Technology, and we're going to go to 21 Capital co-founder Jack Mallers, who is the one that with the Cantor and SoftBank deal, which Howard Lutnik's son runs Cantor, Brandon Lutnik. Okay. This is how I do my investments. I don't do it off hype. I don't do it off emotion. I do it off facts, figures, numbers, logic.
Crypto news. Cantor Fitzgerald is teaming up with Tether and SoftBank to create a new crypto company called 21 Capital. It's going to be accumulating Bitcoin in a similar fashion to, say, that of Michael Saylor's strategy. Plans to launch more than 42,000 Bitcoin, of course, worth more than $4 billion. And Jack Mallers is also co-founder. He's CEO of 21 Capital. And he joins us now. We usually have you on because of strike.
You're getting me fired up. How you doing, Caroline? Good to see you.
Jack, when did this idea come to be?
The founding story. So I co-founded the business with Tether. I would say I've known the Tether Group for over a decade. There just weren't that many Bitcoiners around over 10 years ago. So we've done a lot of work together in El Salvador, et cetera. We've been so inspired by Michael Saylor and all of the public companies acquiring Bitcoin. But I would say over the last few years, that inspiration turned into what we thought was an opportunity and a hole in the market that we could deliver on, which is bringing blue chip credibility and startup upside. We feel like we can bring enough capital and be big enough to win. We're small enough to grow. And most importantly, a pure Bitcoin business. A lot of these companies, they're pivoting from a past operating business. They're rebranding, changing their name. They're maybe selling video games to buy Bitcoin or selling medical equipment to buy Bitcoin. Right. And we're a purpose-built Bitcoin company. We're going to build Bitcoin products, Bitcoin cash flow, and we're going to give Bitcoin per share growth to shareholders and be hopefully the best way for investors to get Bitcoin exposure in the public markets.
Okay. So Cantor, again, Howard Lutnik is part of Cantor. Brandon Lutnik runs Cantor. Cantor partnered with SoftBank. This is happening. Okay. Now, what he was talking about is how MicroStrategies, I think that was a shot at MicroStrategies, if I'm listening to that correctly, where MicroStrategies was a software company that transitioned into a Bitcoin treasury. For example, I was just going over, I get a financial report from my CFO every week. And I was just looking at, we built our own Bitcoin treasury and XRP treasury. And think about this for just a moment. Bitcoin's gone up, XRP's gone up 487% since 2020. Okay. Bitcoin has gone up 50% every year. So think about that. We're storing some of our profit in Bitcoin and XRP. So we took our profits from our companies and we built a treasury, and I'm watching our treasury continue to grow over and over again. Everybody else is storing their money in a deflating dollar, right? They're fighting against inflation. So companies are getting destroyed fighting against inflation, okay, needing to cut back. We're actually adding to our assets in a deflationary asset, and we're able to keep our team members on board. We're able to give our team members pay raises, so to be more effective. We're creating a Bitcoin bank just in case we need cash flow. We can leverage against that. We're transmuting our profits into things that compound, grow, and appreciate. Okay. I wanted to bring up the dark pool thing because it keeps coming up, and there's so many. A dark pool, they're real. It's a real thing. So this is an example. This is Kraken. Okay, Kraken's website introducing the Kraken dark pool. Okay, the Kraken dark pool is an order book not visible to the rest of the market. Each trader only knows their orders. Traders can anonymously place large orders to buy and sell orders without revealing. Okay. Here's from Investopedia. Okay, key takeaways. It's a decentralized dark pool. Trading platforms are anonymized trading venues for large trades of cryptocurrencies. Decentralized dark pools are used to shield large trades from causing slippage. That's why they do it in mainstream markets. So they can buy large amounts OTC over the counter, and it won't cause slippage with the market. It won't cause a huge price change. Decentralized dark pools break down cryptocurrencies order into multiple fragments and match them back again using zero knowledge proof. So basically what happens is these dark pools, they can use the dark pools to anonymously invest. And please believe that that is happening. Please believe that companies are investing in these dark pools and buying Bitcoin, buying XRP, buying Solana. Think about this. Why wouldn't they? We thought about this as a company. I'm like, I do it personally. I'm like, I went to my CFO. I'm like, we need to be going into this. We need to store as much of our wealth. This is what we personally do, and things that are deflationary. If they're going to turn the printing machine back on, family, if they're going to turn the printing machine back on, that devalues every single bit of currency that you earn. You go to work and you trade time for money, and you get paid in someone else's debt. And when they turn that printing machine back on, they're like, oh, we're going to lower interest rates. We're going to make things better for you so you can buy more cars and buy more houses. But the money you're using is deflating. If you don't beat inflation with a pay raise of 2% every single year, you become poor every single year. $100 would 10 years ago buy a full basket of groceries. Today, it'll barely buy you essentials. Barely. Every time I go to the grocery store, it's 60 to $100, and it's nothing. Like 10 years ago, it'd have been a whole bag of groceries, a whole cart of groceries. 10 years ago, a Bitcoin would bought a pizza, and today it will buy a supercar. Or not a supercar, I guess, a $100,000 car. It bought a pizza 10 years ago and $100,000. That's appreciation. That's deflationary asset going up. And here's US dollar going down. Now, do you see why Trump wants to make us the crypto capital of the world? It's very simple. There's not it has to change, right? We're also the 50-year jubilee stopped in 2017, which is a debt reset in the Bible. Okay. What did they say in 2017? Bitcoin's a fraud. Run as fast as you can. And now in 2025, everybody's rushing to accumulate Bitcoin. So here we are, family. And now I can't tell you what to do. I'm only qualified to tell you exactly what I'm doing. Okay. So if you break down, you go to my YouTube channel. You're on my YouTube channel probably. If you go to my YouTube channel, if you're watching this on socials, go to the education section. I break down exactly what I'm doing. Okay, exactly. I'm peeling the curtain back, and we have a ton of new content coming out. We're stepping our content up, and I'm gonna peel back the curtain on exactly my strategy. Okay, again, the reason why I'm telling you is so that you can start to think. Okay, he went from losing everything in 2020, finally getting fed up with the system, learning how the system works, was able to use this very speculative asset called crypto, very speculative wild west with the price appreciation, and I followed the richest man in Babylon, cash flow quadrant, and I did the things disciplined and consistent, and it worked. And now I'm pouring gas on the machine. Now we're doing it for our company. You can do the same thing. I started at a very small level, and I just multiplied, I compound, I leveraged, I bought cash generating assets, and I followed these books work. Success leaves clues. Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant works. Ray Dalio, his understanding his economic systems work, right? I went through Alex Hormozi's program before he exploded, and his scaling processes work, and I used them in my businesses. We've used a lot of his techniques to this day. And when I made cash flow, I transmuted it back into deflationary assets, things that I can leverage. I have a Bitcoin bank now. I have an insurance bank now. You can do this, family. You can do this, okay? You can do this. We got 6 years to get this right. So I love you guys. Remember, I will never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. QFS accounts are a scam. Never, ever, 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 ever send your crypto to anybody. You don't need to put your XRP on some special account. Be very careful. Don't send your crypto to anybody. These are my only resources. So if you're in a social media watching this, click the link in my bio. Okay, we have the Coach JB Academy. We've helped 11,237 people as of today since 2020. Subconscious mind programming, goal setting, market calls, live calls, community calls. So you're in the tribe, you're in the vibe. Okay, get in there. We also have a live workshop where you can work live with me. And then one of the biggest requests we get is around how I use infinity banking concept, cash value life insurance, bank on yourself. I've created a family bank on the insurance side and a Bitcoin bank on the Bitcoin side. So I have team members in all 50 states to help you with a free consultation to break down those strategies. It's a free retirement strategy to help you understand those concepts. And so please bear with us. We're doing the best we can. We're about 4 weeks out with appointments. So if you set your appointment, make sure you show up and I get your appointment locked in very, very soon. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, that's in the description of the video. And I will see you tomorrow. Warriors! Let's get your shit together. Let's go.